In this video, we're going to show you how to add employees to your COVID screening account. It's important that you add your employees before they can begin submitting daily screening assessments. Now, there are a number of ways to add employees. We're going to start with the most straightforward one. We also recommend that you use a browser on your computer to do this. It is possible to use your phone to do this role, but it's a little easier with the little extra space that a computer gives you, as well as a keyboard. Just makes your life a little easier. So, first thing to do then is to log in to your account. You do that at preworkscreen.com and fill in your username and password as regular. That takes you to this screen, which is the dashboard. This is where you can add and change all aspects of your account. Where we want to go for now is to the Manage Employees section. So you go there by just clicking this big Manage Employee button, and it takes you to the panel where you can see your existing employees. The first thing we're going to do is to press this little icon that has a little man and a plus, which is how you would add one or more employees to your account. In order to add an employee, the first thing you need to do is give them a temporary password. And make sure when you add your password that it includes at least a number, at least a special character, and at least one uppercase letter. Once you type in the password that you want to give, then you simply enter in this row the name and information of the employee. We'll use mine. You can also put in a phone number, optionally with the country code, in case you want to be sending text messages to this employee, but those are optional, as well as an employee ID, which again is optional. We'll just skip those for now. If you're adding more than one employee, simply press this Add Row button on the side, and you can add additional rows to add multiple employees at the same time, recognizing they will all be sharing the same temporary password up here. But for now, we'll just add the single employee. So we'll get rid of those extra rows. When we're happy that all the information is correct, press the Submit button at the bottom, and we're good to go. You'll notice you get a confirmation that you've successfully created these accounts, and also notice that each employee will receive a temporary password through their email that they can change when they first log in. So we acknowledge that, and we're set. So we'll close that and see what happens. You'll also notice in your Manage Employees panel, this is the employee I just recently added. So you can see all the information is here, but you'll notice the status is not accepted. This simply means that they've received the email but have not yet actioned it and not yet accepted the invitation to join the system. So we'll do that part next. Okay, now that we've invited our employee, let's go see what the process looks like from their side. The easiest way to do this is to get the employee to use their phone to access the system. So in this case, we will assume they have already downloaded the Hub Connect app onto their smartphone. If that's not the case, look at the other instructional videos on how to do that. But they simply have to go to the App Store for their phone, either Play Store or the Apple Store, download Hub Connect app onto their phone, pick the Niagara region or whatever region is appropriate, and they're off to the races. So this video will assume they've already done that, and all they need to do is start the Hub Connect app, and that's where we'll pick things up. So the first step from their phone is simply to launch the Hub Connect app if it's not already running. So let's do that. When they're in one of the right regions, they'll be able to see the COVID tool button will appear. They tap that to look at their options. The top option at the menu, the top of the menu, is the Daily COVID Screening selection. That is what they need. It takes them directly to the login page. Now they enter the same information that you use to register on the system, basically their email address and the temporary password, ensuring that they've left the Remember Me option selected. When they log in, their phone will now remember the settings so that the next time they won't have to log in again. You'll notice that their account is approved and they'll be able to immediately submit their first assessment. They can also change the language of the assessment to Spanish if they prefer, and then the questions come up in Spanish. The system will also remember their language selection, so the next time they'll be offered the same selection as the last time. So if they wanted to fill in their first assessment, they simply tap on their answers to each one of the questions. And as soon as they filled in all of the answers, the submit button at the bottom will now become enabled. So they merely have to go down, answer all the questions, and they'll know they're complete when the submit button lights up. They tap on that, and they have one more chance to review and confirm their submission before they send it in. When they tap the confirm button, the system automatically receives and scores their screen and will tell them immediately whether they've passed or failed. In this case, you can tell they have completely passed and everything is good to go. They can close out of the app until tomorrow. This is the same place where they would be able to manage the rest of their services, change their profile, and so on. All from the COVID Tools section of the Hub Connect app. So this is how, as an employer, you can manually add employees to your account and then direct them to use Hub Connect to sign in the first time, save all those settings within the app so that the next time, all they have to do is access the daily COVID screening option in the menu under COVID Tools and have access to the screening information each and every day they're required to fill in a screening assessment.